Welcome to another Sketch Starters with Nicole. This time I'm going to show you how 3 little circles and a line can turn into 2 amazing creations. I'm going to start off my first project with some parchment cardstock, Grape Agate ink, the golden trim washi tape, and the sweet pea palette washi tape, as well as my jet black artist marker. So the first thing I'm going to do is add in a nice Grape Agate glow using our new blending brush, and I can really ink this up a whole lot and not be concerned about getting a big blob to begin with. It always blends super soft and gives me just the perfect glow that I'm looking for. So there we go, very easy. And that is all I need to do for my glow. The next thing I'm going to do is add in some splatter, and I'm going to use my artist marker along with a piece of acetate or window sheet to flick off the edge of the marker, and that's going to create spatter. And I like this technique because it does make a smaller, more fine spatter, and it dries very quickly and keeps the nice circular pattern. The ink doesn't really spread. So that looks pretty good. And then the third thing I need to do is add in my first element from the sketch, which is that line that you see. So I'm going to use the sweet pea palette washi tape to get that line in there. So there's the line. I'm going to use my bone folder to just secure that down really well. Make sure I get those edges really good. And then I'm going to take the golden trim and add in just a little bit of extra on the side here. Kind of like that, just a little bit. I don't want it to extend across the whole thing, I just want to add a little bit of extra detail there. So there we go. Now I can add this to my card base and we can create the rest of the elements to finish off this card. For the sentiment, I'm going to be using the circled sentiment set and some Obsidian black ink on another piece of the parchment cardstock. And I just selected a cute little sentiment that says, "Hello there." And with the Obsidian black, I only need to stamp this once to get a really great stamped image. So now I can go ahead and die cut this out, and then we'll be ready to add this in along with a few other elements to finish this card. Alright, so to finish off this card, I'm going to go ahead and add in my sentiment, and I'm going to pop this up on a piece of adhesive foam. And I'm going to kind of center it down a little lower, right about there. And to interpret this sketch with the 3 circles, I'm not going for even sized circles, I'm going for different sized circles, and I'm using different elements too. So I have my sentiment here, and then I'm going to use some of these beautiful enamel dots from the R Family set to finish it off. Now I'm going to take these guys kind of straight down the double washi here. So I'll use 2 of these pink ones and then add in another lighter color to get some gradation and some size different too. So I'm going from small to medium to jumbo, back to medium, and then small. So I get a really nice pattern, and even though it's not 3, it does fit the intent of the sketch where I have the repeating circles and I have the line, and I have actually flipped the sketch on its side. So this is our first look at an interpretation of sketch number 8. For my second interpretation, I'm going to be using the Painted Flowers stamp set to create those 3 circular images. So of course flowers are circular, and that really fits into the intent of the sketch, but it really doesn't have to be something circular. If you feel like squares or rectangles or triangles, any of those will really count as long as you're doing a repeating pattern of 3. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp out some of these beautiful blooms. And this is actually one of the very first Altenew stamp sets that I owned, and it is still one of my absolute favorites. And I think it's because these stamps are very easy to line up, and it really gives you a feeling of success using these stamps for the layering stamp style if you're new to that style. So I really recommend this stamp set for people who are just getting started with layering stamps, because they really are easy to use and they don't have to be precisely lined up. So that really does help out. Okay, so I'm going to add in 2 leaves for my smaller stamps, and then that'll do it for all of my black outlines. So these were all done up in the Obsidian Black. And then I'm going to move on to the flowers. So I'm going to use a combination of Pinkalicious, Ribbolite, and Razzleberry. So all the backgrounds are going to be in Pinkalicious. And if you're not familiar with the layering stamps, you'll definitely want to reference the layering guide. It comes with each layering stamp set, so that way you know exactly how these are designed to layer up with each other. Like I said, with this particular set though, you can get away with non-precise layering, so you don't have to follow it exactly, but it helps if you can get close. To finish up the pieces that I need for this card, I'm going to first stamp the sentiment, which is from this teeny tiny stamp set, Best Sentiments, and I just want the Love and Hugs part, but I'm going to stamp out the whole thing and then just cut it out. So go ahead and stamp this on. Again, using the Obsidian Black works really well with these white on black stamps. I get a beautiful impression the first time, and then I can just go ahead and crop out the Love and Hugs part that I want. So I'll go ahead and set that aside. And then for our card base, I'm going to do the same treatment again. So I'm going to use the Grape Agate, but this time I'm going to do it on some white cardstock. And I'm going to do a circular glow kind of towards the right side. And this time you'll really be able to see that even though I had that inked up a whole lot, I'm getting this beautiful soft glow with nice diffuse edges. And it is just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so I'll add that in. And then I've got, again, my Sweet Pea palette washi tape, which I will bring across all the way this time. So I'm deviating a little bit from the design by bringing this across instead of cutting it off on either side. So go ahead and do that and pop these around the back. And then I'd like to add some spatter to this as well, so I'll go ahead and do that same spatter treatment with my black artist marker. There we go. Now we can go on to some assembly. All right, I have my background panel now adhered to my card base, so that is ready to go. I have my sentiment all stamped out, and I need to just snip off the sending because I just want it to say Love and Hugs. So snip that off, and now I have the perfect sentiment, and then I have my flowers. So I want to start by setting up my smaller flowers with some leaves. So I'm just going to add a little drop right here on the end of the leaf and get it onto the flower. All right, and that can go about there. And then the same thing with this one. A little drop of adhesive and the flower. Give it just a second there, and that can go in. And then I've got my third flower, which I'm going to pop up on some foam adhesive. Now, instead of evenly spacing the circles like you see in the sketch, I'm going to bring them a little closer together to turn this into more of an arrangement. So it'll be kind of like that. So I'll just go ahead and lift these up, add just a little bit of adhesive on the back there, and put them right back down where I had them. So those two right together. And then I can use some foam adhesive on my flower. pop that to make a beautiful linear arrangement. And then I'm going to add this Love and Hugs as well. I could just glue it down if I want, or I can also pop this one up. The nice thing about popping it up is I am going to kind of get it to go over the flower a little bit. And that'll make it look really nice. There we go. So now I've got my sentiment. And it can go overlapping on the flowers a little bit, just like that. All right, so there are 2 takes on sketch number 8. And as you can see, those little circles can mean a whole lot of different things, but create a whole lot of beautiful ideas. I hope you found inspiration in the sketch and in the samples that I provided for you. If you're inspired to create something with this sketch, don't forget to tag Altenew Sketch Starters out on social media and tag us at Altenew LLC and Pixel Mavens Retreat. We'd love to see what you create. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and until next time, happy crafting. Help support my craft education efforts by clicking on the subscribe button and the little bell so you'll get notified when I create new content just for you. If you're looking for something else to watch, how about one of these crafty videos?